it's the CEO of Coinbase, so this is no joke. Holy smoking! The fact that we barely have 24 hours left startled everyone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have another 24 hours to go. The big glasses revelation was something I had to do. We will also discuss XRP, the current state of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the next altcoin season. Beginning, occurring, and not occurring. Hi there, lovely individuals. Peepo Coin channel. We have some green OKB, as you can see. Here it's up 50%. However, aside from the one major event that is occurring, the cryptocurrency market is generally flat heading into tomorrow, such as if we go. As you can see, we do have the first jobless claims today, which might give us a little shock or pop depending on how bullish or bearish they are. Everything sold off when the PPI was extremely bearish, as we witnessed. As a result, the market might move slightly today if the job report, which is what we discussed, reveals how the Fed may be evaluating jobs at the moment. However, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, will discuss the circumstances at Jackson Hole tomorrow. Once more, this month's Fed meeting is canceled. Therefore, we will have to wait till September. I'll be bringing some video. Here in the video, we'll also discuss what one of Trump's sons, not the president himself, said, and we'll make an effort to determine what might occur here in the near future. However, XRP is currently trading at 2.90, down 1.5%, give or take, since GMT time. Since we did rise nearly to 3, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback this morning after having a little bit of a bounce yesterday. If I remember properly, it was at 297. Yes, 298 it climbed. The market began to drop off after it peaked there. Bitcoin exhibits the same type of movement. Their Ethereum likewise reached its peak and began to decline. Therefore, the majority of the time, the same type of activity is taken everywhere, and we're witnessing a small amount of the supremacy. As you can see, Bitcoin's dominance began to emerge just after that peak. Seeing how this develops today will be intriguing. As usual, keep in mind that I will never message you on social media to ask you to send me money or join up for anything. They are con artists. Be extremely cautious out there, please. A new page has appeared. Look, they gave me a little different appearance. Correct? I'm sent through AI. I have a slightly distinct appearance. I'm not sure. I have a somewhat different nose, and I'm not sure what's causing it. I'm not sure. Is my appearance better or worse? I'm not sure. I don't know. I believe. I'm not this person. It's not me. Therefore, if they message you on TikTok or something, no, I don't. Another page appeared. I believe the page is the same, but the headline was altered because I was informed that the other one you told us about was no longer available. Since they have the same tag here, I believe it to be the same. In any case, keep in mind that I will never get in touch with you on social media. Furthermore, I will never advise you to buy, sell, or hold. Not financial advice, of course. Before you made the decision to invest, you made that choice on your own. I have no idea how the market will respond to specific events on a daily basis. Similar to the job report, the market may pump or dump if it is extremely excellent or very poor. We had the same situation with the PPI. PPI often doesn't cause significant market movements, but when that figure was high, it did. As you can see, the USS has a significant impact on the cryptocurrency market. People say, oh, the cryptocurrency market is global, isn't it? It is found worldwide. However, the extent to which the US events, US president's words, and US actions impact the market has been demonstrated. Why? Due to the fact that the majority of funds invested in the cryptocurrency market originate in the United States. You mean not all of it? For instance, we know that XRP is quite popular in South Korea, but the majority of the market's capital is in the US, and many traders worldwide go to the US for this reason. That's why it has such a big impact. There is something going on in Germany, Japan, and the UK, which are all large economies. The market isn't particularly affected. The market, the US market, and the cryptocurrency market are not significantly affected if the EU lowers interest rates. However, it could affect the EU market. Although there isn't an EU stock exchange, it could influence the stock exchanges in each of the EU's member states. However, the US has a big impact on the cryptocurrency industry. The way this occurs has been observed previously. Very intriguing, and we'll see what transpires. The US economy is undoubtedly the largest in the world. The odds haven't moved much since we received the minutes of the FOMC meeting last night, if we reload the page. That video goes all the way down to 77 if you missed it. As you recall from that video, we were at 99% of the Fed lowering interest rates just a few weeks ago. That has now decreased by roughly 30% there. It's really intriguing, and we'll see how it turns out. Michael Schumacher of Wells Fargo stated that if the Fed reduces in September and Powell downplays further easing, markets won't buy it. We'll speak with the CEO of Coinbase shortly. Once the brilliant Al Powell can bring it back on track, traders will price in a full easing cycle, pumping equity rallies. That makes me think of a video that I wish I hadn't watched. However, the truth is that I'm not entirely certain of this. Why? Before the elections, the Fed did lower interest rates by 0.5%, but the market didn't really react negatively to that because it was extremely aggressive and there was uncertainty due to the election. Thus, that did not occur. Interestingly, however, the S&P has finished higher over the next 12 months 20 times out of 20 times, with a 100% hit rate when the Fed lowers rates within 2% of stock market all-time highs. In order to finish higher, this could take a year, therefore. While it may be beneficial in the long run, the question is whether there will be a big rise in the short term. We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, the odds are declining. For this reason, we want to know what the Fed chairman is looking for that would tip the scales and prevent him from lowering interest rates, which is why so many people are watching Friday as a sign of what will happen. We are thus observing the extent to which this is impacting the cryptocurrency market and, in the short term, XRP. This is all short term once more. Possible motions in this area. When considering XRP 5 or 10 years from now, it is not long-term effective. This is more in line with what might occur over the course of the following month, 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months, isn't it? I'm speaking of this at the moment. Once more, perhaps this is not of interest to you. Either you're interested in the graphs, or you're more interested in possible long-term news, or neither. I will never advise you to purchase, sell, or hold. This is obviously not financial advice. Before making an investment, always conduct your own research. In any case, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and visit the links in the description below. By the way, I will receive a commission from some of those affiliate links in the description. I appreciate you watching, and as I always say, let's make a lot of money. I hope to see you again soon.